So I just want to give you some previews of an exciting show. I guess Mike Winger today later at 1 o'clock, I believe. Well, he's having that show about the premillennial thing, like what view you have and why and all that. So it should be real fun because that great preview that I'm not so good at, it puts like a banner, with like what the show's going to be about. Well, it's all really hard questions or that really hard or something like that. So, oh wow, that sounds like a fun show to me. So I'll be there, and I hope you will too, because we could get a lot of questions answered and clear a lot of things up, because if he's not part of that, 7 Seas of Lies crowd, that would be fun to see. Because I guess Milo even came out of that fog, and that's big to me. So hey, check it out like this afternoon if you got time, because that's not too long from now, and it should be quite a show indeed, because I've got some great questions for him. I think I've asked most of them before, but I'll be glad to ask him again, like Philippians 2 or who he is in Revelation 2. It's almost like those numbers, the third 3 and all those magic numbers. Well, we have those twos. Just like Philippians 2 and Revelation 2 and chemistry. Whoa, what's happening here? Because if that's now, some people need to wake up. And especially Matthew 24 too. They didn't really need to think about a king and start reading Matthew 5 through 7 and living by it and forgetting all these other things of doctrines of men that make sons of hell, that are now divider and chiefs, that are professional thieves, and they've got bank accounts full of dollars that are turning to peso, and watching everybody cry and go homeless and say, brother, just have great faith, but don't forget to give me that diezmo. See, that's the one thing that's always fun to me, is that I did get to preach. Because that one pastor that I was arguing with in Spanish when I was more of a know-it-all boy and was kind of getting a little yeasty before I really got into shortbread. I'm just kidding. I wasn't into shortbread then, and now I'm way more into it. But anyway, when I argued with him, and I was like, you're a dimwit, man. You're older than me and everything, but you're not educated like me. And I didn't know that I had been kind of brainwashed a bit. So God was still having mercy on me, because I still kept trying to talk to him and figure it all out, and listening to the word and how it could change me. And actually talking to him and not believing all the lies that I heard all the time. And when I emailed them, they wouldn't answer me and all these things. So anyway, in those days when I was arguing with this guy, I was like, come on, this rapture thing, it's the only way to go, man. And he goes, sit down for me and read First Thessalonians all the way through. And I don't remember if it was the English or Spanish, but I understood them both, so it's okay. So I read it all the way through to that magic verse about the rapture. And the only thing it fit with was what I later figured out is what rapture actually means, is getting caught up into the king's kingdom to serve him for 1,000 years. And that's where that Santa Claus thing and the golden rule will become the golden age stuff. It's all true. And karma too, for those karma people, it's nothing wrong with that, because they'll bow to that same king. It's not going to be about, your doctrines aren't right like ours, so you're going to burn hell. No, the ones that are going, I'm guessing the ones that go in that place are going to a really cold-blooded planet for a long time, or they're going to be part of these 7 Seas of Lies, trying out for 1,000 years, whichever is their choice or God's choice, whatever. The king, I'm sure that'll be up to the king who's going to come, and judge first. So it doesn't really matter what you mean or what you think. So it's always good to get on the same page with, the one who's coming, so you make sure that he doesn't say to you, You believed what? I don't know you, but you can go with that faith to that planet that you created. Like Mitt Romney has for his doctrines of men that make sons of hell. It doesn't matter which church. You just gotta get away from it before it gets too beastly in you, like it was in me. So, well, I don't know if it was too beastly, but it might have been getting there. So what I'm trying to say is, once I read that with that Spanish pastor, I said to him, wow, that is saying it's coming after the tribulation. And he goes, that's what I've been trying to tell you, dimwit, Well, he might say it a little differently, but he was good with words, because he was Mexican, but I don't know if it was Chilango, but he had that style, kind of a street style, which is what I like. That's how I speak, at least to communicate. Because I did take a Spanish class once, and the teacher said, your grammar's a little rough. So but you can communicate really good. It's just your grammar's a little rough, like the street. And I'm like, well, I guess that's good, because that's who I'm trying to communicate with, not be a university professor. So, because they get their grammar so perfect, nobody can understand them, because they use all these big fancy words like millennium. So that is what is that preview of that show. But anyway, back to the Spanish. So anyway, after I said that to that Spanish pastor and said, wow, you were right. I was wrong. Sorry about that. I'm all messed up. I really screwed up that one. I trusted these doctrines of men, and I thought that was true, but you're right. It's wrong. And you know what he said? He said, hey, can you preach? And I was like, I guess. He said, all right, go do it. I got 50 people waiting out there. And I'm like, right now? And he's like, yeah, you can preach on something real quick, can't you? And I was like, well, yeah, sure. Just preach on prayer. And he's like, yeah, do it. Just do it. So I went up and I prayed. And I was like, I prayed. I preached on prayer. And the people, they all listened. And then some of them, came up and wanted me to pray for them. But really, it was weird to me. And I came to him and I'm like, why do they all want to, have me pray for them? Why don't they just go home and pray? Didn't they listen to what I said? And he's like, well, they're just kind of like that. They like to think that you have some special connection. And I'm like, well, I thought if that was true, that's what they'd want to do, is get it themselves and not look to me. You see what I mean? It's so that was the only chance that I ever preached, but I didn't get paid for it. But he did give me something in the end, here, you can have some of this. And I don't think he even collected offering. He just said some verse, a ox should get paid for his work or something. So maybe I got paid, man. I think it was 20 or 30 bucks or something. I don't remember. But what I'm trying to say is I didn't have the intention of making money at it. And so it was given to me, that opportunity to preach truth. And it's like spreading seed. And maybe it came because I got humble enough to tell that pastor, whoa, maybe you're right. And then he's like, dude, why don't you just preach? Because that's kind of where you get that yeasty, beastie stuff out of you. And then you're good to shine for the king, because you're full on for heart. Full on. No scheme, No oh, I gotta make my money so I can never say the word king. Because I'm wondering if that's what's going on. But anyway, I'm hoping that's not what's going on at this chat today. So if you've got time, come see if it's like a pro king, because this guy could be kind of like me when I first got to preach. And he's like, wait a minute, maybe I need to get on the same page as I should be. Because there's a lot of pages out there, and we're all flipping pages trying to figure out which one's right, when if we just get on the same page as the king, then it would all be right overnight. You can get out of these nightmares and these cobwebs and these fogs and the fear-mongering and the princely reign, and get ready for the purple reign of the king who's coming. And of course he's going to protect his own. Just gotta make sure which ones are his own, and not get all pre-chosen crap in you, where you get all yeasty and pridey and think your doctrines of men are gonna make you a beautiful heaven-sent piece of crap. See what I'm saying? You just gotta get a grip and get out of that earthquake of the dividers and chiefs.